Christmas traditions or holiday traditions that you observe. Uh, Again, Christmas or holiday traditions that you observe. Just want to see what's going on in the
What
chat
they
and different
what
people,
the people doing?
what the
What the
people
people
doing.
doing?
And this is the perfect time to remind everybody that this is a call in show. So if you ever want to call into the show to share your thoughts and opinions, like Tech Coach Ralph said here, he says, "So hi, Jeffrey's going to make me call in the show." And so that's exactly what I'm going to post right now. Especially if you're on specifically on YouTube, you could go ahead and use this link right here to call into the show. And if you're on LinkedIn and want to call into the show, just come over to youtube.com/@ Talk That Tech Show, where you can find the link. You could jump on the call, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. And so before we get into that, did you want to share on what you created over the weekend? We could probably do that
So
before we dive into the show.
so bro, it's funny because I feel like our first segment it might work with that. So
Okay.
probably could play like the first 20
AI
seconds.
Trey, Trey's AI clone. And yes, you're hearing my voice right now. Pretty wild, right? In just a few minutes, the real Trey is going to show you exactly how he created me using HeyGen and 11 Labs. But first, let me tell you something crazy. This technology is so advanced that some of you might not even realize I'm AI until he tells you. All right, let me hand it over to the real Trey. What up, fam?
What up? So yeah, that's it, man. That's all I'm gonna give y'all. That's all I'm gonna give y'all. Okay, listen. So again, it's almost there, y'all. It's almost there.
It's
Okay, so
scary. It's scary.
it's not fully. You know, if you was really closely looking, right? If you was all in my grill, then you probably saw that AI Trey is AI. But again, it's getting close, and yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild out here. But the reason why I went ahead and put it up there is because Adidas, you know, they tried. They
Yeah.
tried their best. And we'll see. Actually, are we already on the first segment? I just wanted to make sure before we jump in there.
Yeah. No, in fact, that video popped up so quick.
I know.
So
I didn't
I
expect it either, bro.
I was like, okay, let me put it on and set it up for you, and it just went straight into it. So that's funny.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah. That
man.
was wild.
Before we go, Tech Coach Ralph says, yeah, that's
Dang.
good. I always thought Trey was AI. Oh, that's hilarious. He says, "Why are you all in my grill?" Like the song says.
Uh,
Oh
bro.
man. Well,
Yeah, that's.
here's what I was gonna say. You know, we had a conversation about not too long ago about the
Mm-hmm.
Coca-Cola commercial. Very nostalgic for a lot of people. And there was some negative feedback about that particular one, right? So they're like, everybody's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how this feels. This actually received a little bit more rave reviews. So that's what I found was very interesting, and it possibly could have been the inspiration for Coca-Cola to actually decide to say, hey, you know what? Let's try this thing out because this guy, because again, this is actually not an official Adidas commercial, was able
Yeah.
to do some impressive stuff here. And while you're doing that, I'm actually going to go ahead and just show the audience what we're referring
Oh
to
yeah.
here.
Yeah. Pull it up, man. And it's that's the thing, bro. I think what we're seeing here shortly, I think we're gonna continue to see that, man. Let's pull it up.
Yeah, so as you can see, it is very vivid. And for those who are not able to see this on the podcast version, basically, I'll let Trey share a bit more about it. But it's a complete AI commercial, official, officially done, not officially done by an individual. In fact, yeah, go ahead, Trey. You go into it.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's see
bro.
it,
So
brother.
they're calling this the Floral commercial, right? And it's not like you mentioned, it's not an official Adidas ad. So, but the ad was created by in like all in AI tools. So it was AI generated. It was created by this film director. His name is Blair Vermette. And basically, like you mentioned, bro, it's gotten not only has it gotten a lot of attention, but the creative aspect of it, um, and especially in the advertising communities, like everybody's up, they're loving it. And so, like you mentioned, it's kind of the opposite of what everybody was doing with the Coca-Cola ad. And the video that you just played of mine, I kind of mentioned that in here, man. It's one of those things where we haven't hit mass adoption yet when it comes to this type of stuff. So, just like when the TV first came out, bro, everybody was on radio. They hated it. They were like, no, forget this TV. What are y'all talking about? It's all about the radio. Credit cards and debit cards, when those came out, 666, that is the mark of the beast. Get these credit cards and debit cards out of there. Cash all day, right? And now look at us. We sitting here, we're tapping every day on our cell phones and watches and everything else. So eventually it will be there where this will become a thing, and it'll be mass adoption, and we'll be able to continue to create and all this stuff, and people will get paid. Like, this guy has now put himself on the map. I bet his phone is ringing off the hook. His email is blowing up from other brands saying, yo, make us one, name your price, all this kind of stuff. So or they're trying to find somebody on their team. Either way, y'all, it's getting crazy out here. So some aspects of this ad while it's going, just so for the people who can't see it, it's basically showing people they're dancing, like like Joseph mentioned. It's super vibrant, like a lot of the bright colors and people in all Adidas clothes and shoes. The ad is actually, if we were to turn it on, we get flagged for sure, because it's set to Meg Thee Stallion's. I actually don't even know how to say it. Mashumi, Mamushi. I don't know. I actually haven't heard that song like that.
Your guess is good at mine.
Okay. And then
that song.
I know, right?
That's what I say.
And then with that though, it's showing the Japanese inspired. It has the trees. It has even the clothing and the floral that they have on. I think those are cherry blossoms in one of them, in one of the scenes. Like they did a lot of the crazy stuff, man. It's really nice. The tools he used, Runway ML, right? We all know about, I actually don't know about this. So let me just run them down. I don't know if everybody knows, but he used Runway ML. He used Mid Journey, Adobe Creator Suite, and Topaz for upscaling to make it, make it look real crispy. And so, again, like I said, the ad actually it's received a lot of good reviews and rave when it comes to visually and the energy of the ad. And again, we're talking about it is sparking discussion around the future of ads and advertising and what they'll be able to do when it comes to this AI and in the creative process. So, man, it's crazy, man. To me, it looks pretty good. I like it. But we'll see what this does. Like, does this move us into a new space and a new portion of advertising and just video creativity as well?
I think that I have some opinions, but first, before I even get there, I'm gonna go to the comments section because we do have some comments here. Let me go to sorry, Tech Coach Ralph said, now people crying about credit card fees. We're just
That's a
moving on
fact.
to different problems.
And I was just looking at that. Who is that? I think it was Chase. They did over $1 billion in credit card fees last year.
Woo!
Free money, baby.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, what it is, And Oris, good morning, Oris. So glad to have you on the show. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well.
Good morning.
So glad to have you. And she said Oris said the ad is visually vibrant, and I agree.
Oh, it
That's
definitely
the thing.
was.
The thing about it was with the other ad that we talked about earlier in another segment. It basically, you could see a little bit of like the morphing and it didn't seem like it was all together there. This is 100%. And I'm gonna go back to those. So if I'm talking about it, they can see this is 100% AI. 100%. Every single person, every single movement, everything that you see there, 100% AI. So that shows you a lot. And then if you think about how niche down this ad is, where they know their target audience, there's a huge hip hop scene in Japan where there's b-boys and people that are really embracing that culture that this appeals to. especially with the song being what it is. Obviously, we can't sing it or you know, or play it because of copyright issues. But if you know the song, you could go look up the song and you could put it all together. You're like, oh, this makes sense. So the fact that you know, he took the time to do this. I already said it's a rainy morning in New York, and I am well. Yes, it is a rainy morning here in the tri-state area for sure. I looked
Oh
out
man.
myself and I heard it. I was like, ugh, not fun. But yeah, in regards to this particular ad, it just kind of shows like, not only is this just an AI ad, this is a very specific, tailored, visually appealing ad that really does say, okay, if this is the if he set the bar, basically, he set the bar. Now everybody's got to catch on, and then the questions come out. What is this? What happens to actors now? What happens to, you know? Because we could say, hey, we need voice actors, whatever, but your AI clone just showed us, do we really need that? There's so much areas where it's like, okay, there's going to probably need to be some sort of whether it's SAG or other groups that you get involved with this and say, okay, how do we have this balance where, yes, you want to cut back, yes, you want to make things at least scalable, and you want to save money in this area, but we're losing because this is creativity right here. We're
Yeah.
losing that human creative element where you have people actually a part of it, just to save a few dollars and cents. So
And
yeah.
that's gonna be something to talk about, man. In this movie I watched last night, it was called Subservience on Netflix. The main character was Megan Fox. What they did in that one, bro, the dude, the main, or the head guy in the movie, he was a construction worker, and it was like, you know, they had a lot of construction workers, and these AI people, man, they basically they took them all the jobs except for one, except for his. And basically the law was they just needed one guy, or not guy, but they needed one human that was flesh and blood. That was it. They ran through everybody, fired them all, for these AI robots. So yeah, it's one of those things, man. As time goes on, let's see what that does, or would they put things in place. um the thing is, maybe, you know, if you're already in the space, if you're already in the tech industry, maybe you should just you know, look at the stuff, or in your area, like whatever your space is, make sure you know what the new tech is that's coming out around it, and the things that you're interested in, try and learn it, because you never know, you might become the person. Like if your company was in this space and you knew how to do this, maybe they just, instead of hiring this guy, they just go ahead and, yo, we've now bumped you up to the head of the head of AI marketing. So now you know, you're in the marketing team, but you're specifically on the AI marketing team. So I don't know. All I'm saying is, definitely be on top of the new things and the things that are coming out in your industry, in your space, so that you don't become a relic.
Yeah, there is definitely potential in this area as well for people to really scale and grow in their positions. And I think that we're going to see a lot more of that. We're seeing that already, but we're definitely going to see a lot more of that play out. And people are going to then take the same, like he listed it out there. So people can learn what runway ML is. They can learn mid journey, and they can learn it in a way that says, okay, this is the bar, you know, let me get here, and then I could build out my own agency where, again, like you said, people are going to be coming to you and say, name your price. I want the Adidas Floral special.
Yeah, because I mean, believe it or not, y'all, when it comes to advertising and things like that, they're appealing to specific audiences. Now, look what he just did. Like Joseph said, this was extremely niche. Imagine now I created 5 or 6 ads, all literally going to our specific niche that we focus on. So now there's one
Mhm.
tailored specifically for blacks, specifically for white people, specifically, like you said, this is Japan culture. They do this already, right?
Mhm.
But it costs a lot of money. So now you just cut that ad budget all the way down, and you can run those ads everywhere. But I see them even on billboards, right? You pass one billboard, it's 3 white people, like, smiling and stuff. The same company miles down the road in a different area of town, it's a black family up there.
Different
They already
demographic.
do it. Yeah, because you have to do that if you want to relate and appeal. So it's already been done, but now you can obviously you can do it at a different scale, at a different price point, with what he just did with this. So
Yeah.
interesting to see what it does in the long run.
And one last thing I'll say before going to the comments section, going back to niche down, you could even see in the hairstyle, the complexion, that there is a little bit of this melding, I would say, again, between hip hop culture, even people that are of black descent, in some of these images. So it really does play to that melding pot that we see there in Japan. So anyway, very interesting. Love to hear your thoughts. And so we're going to go to the comment section. We got Tech Coach Ralph, who is saying, he says, I'm sure Joseph can sing it without issues. No, I tried. I will definitely butcher the language. To the best of my ability, what you heard earlier is what you're going to get. That was it. But it's a popular song. So if you looked it up, you'll find it for sure. The issue with new technology, he says, is people want it perfect from day one.
That's true.
Facts, big facts. And he also says most people don't understand innovation and technology.
Yeah.
That is
you got it's called iterations.
Iterations. That's right.
Yeah.
And Trey's clone is going to attend more conferences than Ty in 2025.
That's
Is hilarious. Oh, we got
He'll
before
be
the building in the building. Salute to you as well, sir. So glad to have you on the show. Again, Before the Billions is here. You go ahead and check out his YouTube channel at youtube.com. I believe it's at Before the Billions. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he said, I'm glad I'm able to catch a stream. Glad that you're able to join.
Yeah, man. Glad you're here.
We were just talking about this very vibrant ad, if you didn't see it earlier, completely 100% AI, probably inspired Coca-Cola to do their own ad. But this one was extremely, as you can see, visually and vibrantly appealing. And it just shows the depth and the length that can happen with AI. It's pretty cool. And so just a lot of things that we're touching on today. So I'm glad you're able to catch a stream as well. So glad you're able to catch a stream. And right now, y'all, if you're not familiar, we're going to go into our favorites. Well, one of my favorite segments. All of them are my favorite segments. But the bulletin board, y'all, where we basically talk about different events that are happening this year and really actually 2025, because this year is kind of done. But we're going to give you a head start on the next year so that you could be aware of what's going on. As always, this is powered by blacktechglobal.com. Go ahead to blacktechglobal.com for more, to learn more about upcoming events that are occurring in your neck of the woods or nearby. Right. So we'll start off with a couple of events that are actually going to be happening this week. If you are not aware, GovTechCon Mission 2024 is happening in Arlington, Virginia. $300 for that starting. They have also this Diversitech Connect Philly Mixer that's happening in Philadelphia at $10. Then December 19th, at least for this particular year, seems like the last event that we're going to be doing with Black Tech Link Holiday Toy Drive in San Diego, California. Great cause, so definitely check it out. And then we have a couple of things that are happening in the new year. I'm going to start only with March because there's so much going on, but this is for you to write down, paper and pen, what's going on here. We got March 7th to the 9th. We have BlurredCon that's happening in Arlington, Virginia. It's like the Comic-Con. It's what's it called? Black Nerd Con. So BlurredCon. And you definitely want to check that out if you're into that scene. Then we also have coming up a TBA, Black Future House, and then also March 20th to the 25th, we have Diversitech happening in Philadelphia. So go ahead and put your coins to the side, save your pennies for these events that are coming up. And you'll get more information on this and more if you go to blacktechglobal.com and save the bookmark. Again, that's blacktechglobal.com, your premier source for the latest in the tech events and I guess functions. If you from the South, from LA, get that go run the functions, right? It's a good time. So let's go to the comment section real quickly because we're going to transition over to another segment that I think would be of interest to you if you were able to travel, to DC this past weekend. But let me go to the comment section real quick. We got Tech Coach Ralph in the building that says, "What's good, BDB?" All right. DDB is doing 30 days of live streaming, getting after it. Wow, look at that
Hey,
hustle, man.
getting to it. Yes,
That's
indeed.
right. That's awesome. Make sure to like the video of any of the following 10 platforms you are watching from. Yeah, so that's awesome. Well, listen, y'all, I'm going to talk about it. I was able to attend by the grace of God, Techsgiving Summit this year. And I say that because I was not feeling the best. I was actually kind of feeling a little bit under the weather. And but I was able to actually, not just myself, my wife as well. My wife was feeling a
Mm.
little bit under the weather. The kids were sick. And so in our household, when one gets it, we all gotta get it. So but this time around, we were able to push through, and it was a good thing. But I wanted just to kind of take some time to talk about this awesome event. And if you have not heard about it before, it's called the Techsgiving Summit. And this was actually, again, this is something that happened this past weekend. To put clarity into this event and also kind of just to talk about it a little bit more, Techsgiving Summit is a culmination of Techsgiving. It's not just a one-time, it's a one-time event that is a culmination of the year's work that Techsgiving does. So Techsgiving is a community of people, black and brown, people from various different backgrounds that are basically finding their home, their community where they can grow, upskill, put their job resumes in, get connected, and grow their abilities. And so with this one, they had a pretty cool event that I wanted to share, and I'm going to just actually put this on the screen for you guys. So hold on one second while I put that on. But while I do that, if you don't mind, Trey, could you share a little bit? I don't know if you remember last year, but actually, I could probably talk about it. But let me pull it up here real quickly. So, in regards to Techsgiving Summit, there was a lot of things going on, but I'll give you a summary of what it is in regards to the summit itself. So, the summit itself is a culmination of like career growth and tech opportunities. So, there was job hirings. In fact, there was hirings that happened on the spot, right?
Mm.
Then there was entrepreneurship and innovations. We're going to talk about that with the pitch competition and things of that nature. And then the in-demand tech skills, like workshops and things like that. They were working with you there. So there was Google there was Accenture there were so many different others. The FBI was there as well, hiring.
Oh, snap.
Oftentimes you don't talk about that, but yes, they were hiring for various positions. NASA was there, so there was a lot of different companies that were represented in the place. But one of the biggest portions of what Techsgiving is special for is equity and inclusion in tech. Now, there's some events in the tech industry that are small, and there's some events that are massive. I feel like Techsgiving has a nice balance of being large and small. Listen, if you all attended Techsgiving, let me know in the chat. I just wanted to pull it up here, but yep, I actually have this here. So let me see if I can pull this up so y'all can see what I'm seeing, so it makes sense. But yes, so with this, oh, there we go. I was wondering why I couldn't see it. Perfect. So with this, you can kind of see, and if for those on the podcast, basically what I'm showing is the website for the event. Techsgiving is a huge organization by itself with over 40,000 members. And so they were able to, this is scenes from actually 2023's Techsgiving Summit. We were in a different location for this particular one, but as you can see, it was very similar in regards to just the information that was there and in regards to the impact. But I'm going to share a little bit more about my personal experience being at Techsgiving because I could talk a little bit about some of the highlights that I had. And so one of the highlights that I had was us being able to, first of all, if you're a basketball head, you probably appreciate this, but Baron Davis was in the building and he was able to
Okay.
kind of share a few things about his business called BIG, which stands for Business Inside the Game. And so he basically shared about how he was able to go ahead and pretty much build this from the money that he made in basketball. He said like he saved a ton. So he was not spending as much as maybe some of his colleagues were, but he was able to leverage that money to start this whole company. And so I'm gonna put it up here, business in the game, so you can see a little bit more about what that was about as well. So it makes a little bit more sense. But basically, it is a membership community, and he is looking to invest in various and others. And specifically, he mentioned also investing in content creators and others in this space. But basically, the goal of it is to learn the game of business for athletes, entrepreneurs, creators, and things of that nature. And so let me share this tab, the screen, so you can see a little bit more about his business. I thought it was pretty cool because it's basically his way of giving back, right? And he
Yeah.
was talking about, it was so funny because one of the funny moments of the conversation, he was talking about TAM, which is a total agreeable market, right? And he basically and he basically, every time he's trying to say the word TAM, his microphone would cut off. So they're like, "Oh, it's a conspiracy. They didn't want you to know they didn't want you to know the real." So he just kept on saying TAM throughout the whole thing. And so it was just kind of funny to see that. But he was just very real, very down to earth, and a lot of people were able to kind of uh, gain some information from him, talking about the total addressable market. And then also we had some people that were doing some amazing things as well as a keynote speaker. Forgive me for pronouncing his name wrong, but Delali, he's the founder and CEO of Fearless, raised over $1 billion with that company. So real big things happening over there. And then one another highlight among, there's so many different highlights that they had, but one that really did catch my eye, and this is more or less the pitch competition that they had. And so I'm going to share this screen as well. And if y'all have been able to join the Techsgiving Summit, go ahead and let me know in the chat how your experience was. Actually, before the billions did say, I had a ticket to go to Techsgiving, but I had a few speaking engagements during the same time, so I wasn't able to go. All right, low key flex.
It'd be like that.
But
It'd be like that.
it'd be like that. But that's awesome
Yeah.
because we know your story and what that means. So the fact that you had that going on, more power to you, brother. But I want to kind of show this real quickly as we're wait, let me go to this conversation real quickly at this moment as well. He said, Tech Coach Ralph says FBI was hiring or spying. I would say more hiring so that you could be spying, but
but you know, black people. Hey, can I get on that? How do I get on that Diddy? No, I'm playing. Let me get on the Diddy division.
Yeah, no, I'll stay far away from that. So there's a lot of stuff going on here that I was going to share, but I want to talk specifically about the pitch competition. So the pitch competition that happened was a 2-day event, it was the 12th to 13th, and I was able to see the finalists, and the finalists were this particular young man, Joshua Regis. Crit Car is basically this holistic system for people, car owners, basically, where you could put in an ODN, I believe it's pronounced. You could put that in. And you're able to then be able to read what's going on with the car. However, it also alerts you to the different other mechanics in the area. Like it's a whole ecosystem. It's a lot going on there. But he was a finalist for that. Then we also had Erica Button, who had a maternal health AI, which basically uses your existing Fitbit or uses your existing Apple, or soon to be Apple Watch for or iWatch. I don't know what it's called.
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch. But basically uses that to see what your vital signs are and let your doctor and that you are probably in. This is for mothers, by the way, mothers that are pregnant, that you probably should see the doctor because this is low or this needs to be checked out. So that's one of the finalists there. We also had, and shout out to all the other semi-finalists, but I'm just going for what I remember. We had Scouts as well. Scouts basically were this online platform designated to connect agents and potential prospects there virtually. And there were a lot of good things that were said about there, but I'm trying to go to the other young lady. There we go. Robin Butler, who has Coil. And Coil was able to be basically look at your hair strand, and using AI can tell you what hair products you should be using. Huge potential in all of these different industries. But sure. I have to tip my hat to the leader and the person that won it all, which was this man, Antonio. Antonio did an amazing job by breaking it down, was able to basically not raise, but revenue wise was over $1 million since 2022. And so really quickly it took off, with all that he's doing and with Scouts. And so just to kind of break it down even more, if you are a high school student and you're doing well, you're actually varsity, you're doing whatever, even in college, Scouts could connect you to coaches, recruiters all over the world, because right now it's really hard to get in contact with some of these coaches. Some people DM them in order to get an opportunity. That's how crazy it is. In my opinion, unorganized and unregulated. So this kind of helps break that boundaries, and he has a lot of connections already with pre-existing organizations to make this thing really kind of scale. So congratulations to
Man,
Antonio
that's awesome.
for a
Yeah,
job well
congrats.
done. And all these companies that basically put the $10,000 pitch competition together. So that's what my experience was overall. But it was a great one. And if you happen to have gone to Techsgiving and you want to share your opinion as well, go ahead and call in. You go ahead and click on the link here and feel free to call into the show and share your opinions. That was just, I just want to give some highlights because we don't have that long of a show, but you could call in and go ahead and let us know your thoughts. If you went to Techsgiving, what were your thoughts? What were your opinions about it? Would love to hear from it. There's other events that happened. It was great meeting up with friends as well. As we know, friends of the show like Ty Smith and his wife Ayana Gardner, and others. Cyrus was there, Shanae was there, Bobby McNeil, Nate the Great, I call him, the career hacker, was there. Eric spoke as well. Eric Brown Jr. He spoke. Rob Richardson was in the building. Howard John. A lot of the guests that I had on my show, and others that I will be having on the show were there. And Techsgiving feels like a reunion. That's what it feels like. And so it was really cool again to connect with so many different people. I always tell myself this: if there's one event that I will go through every year, it's Techsgiving. And I think that those that did attend and have been attending agree among all that's the reunion, that's the party, that's the feel that we get from going to Techsgiving.
Man, that's lit. It sounds like it was a good time, and that
It,
really put it in perspective, bro. When you said it's like a family reunion, that's
yeah,
what it seems like. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a family reunion. Everybody, I mean, there's so many events that happen in a year, but everybody kind of has the same resolve that Techsgiving is where we meet up, because it's big, but it's not that big that you can't find your tribe, your people, and just say, hey man, how you doing? Connect. It's been a great time. It's been a long time since I've seen you, whatever. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, but yeah, I was gonna just say that. And if nobody has anything to say about that, we can definitely keep the show rolling. And if you do want to say anything, go ahead and comment below. As you can see, the link is dropped here. So feel free to call into the show if you want to. You don't have to show your face, but you can feel free to call into the show to let us know your thoughts, your opinions, and we would gladly be able to share and discuss it even further. But man, here's the moment of truth. This is what we've been trying to. This is what we had in the thumbnail, and we about to talk about it. Is it over for TikTok? Is it
Is
officially
it over?
over for TikTok?
Are we at the end of the road? Now that
All
we
the way
come.
come
I can't
to
sing, but
it. No, we just harmonized,
yeah.
brother. You did good.
Is it the end of the road, man? Is it the end of the road for TikTok in the US? Uh Still undecided. We don't know. But it's not looking good. It's looking pretty grim.
Yeah.
Basically, if you don't know, okay, I'll run it back. If you don't know, December popped it off for them, and obviously it's only been 16 days, and they've had a few things go on. But TikTok, they're still facing these legal battles, right? There's some challenges that stem all the way back to a while ago. Okay, but now y'all know the justice system, as they call it, it doesn't move too fast, and yeah, so it's all coming to a head right now. So basically, here's what happened: December 6th. The federal appeals court, they upheld a law that required ByteDance, which is TikTok's basically parent company, to divvy it up. You know, you got to give it up by January 19th, or they were going to face a nationwide ban in the US. So basically, the court, they dismissed the TikTok's argument of that the law violated their First Amendment, and basically they emphasized national security concerns. That's what they're saying, over this data access that the Chinese government may or may not have, and ultimately they want that algorithm. Okay, if we've been real, they want TikTok's algorithm, because everybody wants it, because it's pretty
Powerful.
legit. I'm not even gonna cap. They got it and they know it. So here's what's happened as well. On the 9th of December, this December, TikTok and ByteDance, the parent company, they filed for an emergency motion, and they were looking to delay that enforcement of the law that, January 19th. They're like, yo, can you delay this? and they're looking to basically maintain operations while appealing to the Supreme Court. And on the 13th, a few days ago, the federal appeals court denied it. They were like, nah, bro. So that request that they asked for, they said no, and they're maintaining the January 19th deadline for divestment or giving it up, right? They're gonna have to sell it off, or they're gonna be banned. And so the court basically stated that TikTok, they haven't demonstrated significant grounds to warrant delaying the law's enforcement, the law's enforcement pending Supreme Court review. And so yeah, we'll see. But ultimately, it's not looking good for TikTok, and ultimately, it's getting closer to a ban for real. So yeah, all these TikTokers, if you're not already, come on over to all these other platforms. You got to go on over. Look, I was about to do the Suge Knight, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to hit up. I don't know, YouTube. You better hit up Instagram if you haven't already. Send your audience over there, because who knows? Ultimately, you probably should have been doing that anyway. But it's not looking good. We'll see. So I don't know, man. I actually didn't think this was gonna come. Like I remember way back when they were talking about this, and I was like, it'll be, I don't know, 7 years, 6 years. They delay all this stuff in the legal system, but they are serious about this, and it looks like they're not playing, man. Here's what I will say too, though. I don't know. It may or may not happen still, because if y'all know what happens a few days after January 19th, that's when they swear in the presidents or something like that, right? So who knows? There may be some kind of, I don't know. I'm just saying anything is possible, like Kevin Garnett said all those years ago. So it still might not, but it's not looking good for TikTok right now.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I saw this the other day. They're the other social media platforms. Some of them are positioning themselves to say, "Hey, TikTok's not here. Come to your boy." So like that's like some of their ads.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I don't blame them.
Yeah. It says Ori says no more TikTok shopping. TikTok shopping, because they had it was like
man,
big Temu.
oh
Prices
no,
up
man.
there.
Oh yeah, the prices, yeah, but now it looks like it's gonna be gone. Oris, I know a lot of people are really loving that too, and the TikTok like shop people, like the people who actually, whether you're affiliate or the actual owners of it, they have seen some great times, and they aren't lasting. It doesn't look like. So we'll see.
Yeah, I know. Coach Trout said they could appeal to the Supreme Court. How does enforcement happen? Force Google and Apple to remove it from App Store and block access, or do you get jailed for using it on a VPN? Good question, because here's what some people said. Yeah, some people said something very similar to. There are certain, I believe it's North Carolina, where there are certain websites that are banned that you can't get access to. So if they could do it in an isolated, insulated state, or isolated state like that, where they basically say, no, you cannot have this certain whatever. I think there probably are ways that they do have that enforced, where they just probably would do that. But nowadays with technology, and I won't say the website, but there's websites that they can't ban, that is doing quote unquote illegal activity, that operate the same way, where they basically just reroute things all the time. So how it's gonna be enforced? That's a great question, because honestly, it could be that way, but we really don't know. You really don't know.
I don't know either. That's a good. I did think about the VPN thing, but I don't. I would have to. I mean, we would have to wait until that happens to see if people are kind of doing it that way. But it seems like you would be able to do the VPN. But then again, I didn't even know about this North Carolina. Like, that's wild. North Carolina is banning sites.
Yeah, I believe there was. I saw someone mention that online. I'm not sure if it was TikTok.
Okay, so
of all places.
So it's already possible. Or they're already doing it. So That is funny that TikTok was the place you got that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like before the billions. You know, I don't really get on there. Sometimes my wife, she sends me like the funny ones, and so that's
Yeah.
how I stay. That's how I stay in the know, right? That's how I stay up to date. My wife will send me the ones that I need to see, and I kind of go that route. But yeah, it's that's hilarious that's where you actually got the information.
Yeah. Tech Coach Ralph says, I don't know if they're banning or acquiring age verification type stuff. He says.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay. But either way, what we do know is they want that algorithm, and so I don't know. I don't know how much. Well, we know that TikTok also said they're not selling.
mm, mm,
So, or you know, they said that a long time ago. So I don't know how much they would have bought it for, or how much. I mean, it's got to be. I don't know if the average for a SaaS or just an app company is what 10 to 12 or something like that times multiple, they got
yeah.
to be higher than that. Like I probably wouldn't accept nothing less than 20 times. I don't even know. Like
Mm,
it's that powerful. Let me see how much TikTok is worth.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
So he said X said they wouldn't comply with Brazil. A month later they complied.
dang.
Mm, mm,
Yeah. When they need to get it done, they're gonna do it. It says somewhere between the estimated value of TikTok is somewhere between 20 and $100 billion. 84 billion is what they're saying in 2023. So it's easily probably closer to the 100 billion range. And then you slap on another, like I said, 15 to 20x multiple. Now that's total. They're just trying to get the US market. So obviously it'll be a sliver of that, but still it's up there. Like they would have had to pay a pretty penny. And again, for that algorithm, they probably would have. Who knows? I don't know. But they ain't giving it up. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, or feel free to call in. We'd love to hear your opinion on this. And if you have not already, go ahead and join us at youtube.com/talk that tech show. As always, we definitely appreciate and always want your opinion on these particular matters. So definitely let us know what your thoughts are on the comment section below. I also, before we close out the show with one of our favorite segments, I wanted to also just kind of reiterate that we are a part of a few networks, but specifically one called the Alive Podcast Network, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. Tech Coach Ralph actually says, I do not use TikTok, but shouldn't be in favor of banning something because we don't like it. And if that's national security, explain the risk. It's so true.
Yeah.
If it's national security, explain the risk. But don't let it be like, yeah, I don't understand you. Because
You
then
know,
how much other
it
things
goes.
can be banned?
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing: they're so used to doing it that they just feel like they can do it with this as well. And I mean, I'm with Tech Coach Ralph on that. I believe explaining the risk and then again giving people the free will to do that if that's what they want to do. Then okay, at least you know the risk, right? They do it with everything else: um, alcohol, liver problems, getting addicted, cigarettes, right? Um, Throat cancer, all this other stuff. But the people who decide to do it, they know the risks. I'm with him on that. I don't know. It's wild, but it points back to, hey, the government knows what's best for you. You don't know what's best for you, so we're going to make that decision for you. They do the same thing with taxes, right? You don't know how to pay your taxes, so we're going to take it out of your check for you, and then whatever we overtook, we may or may not give it back to you at a time, because I mean it's a lot of people who still haven't gotten in front of last time. So you know, it's one of those things, bro. It's one of those things. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. But we can't hear you.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
fix this real quickly.
Oh yeah. Hey man, this is a live show. Y'all know it, and uh, we have kids. Stuff happens. So, anyways, but we're not gonna prolong the time. If nobody's gonna call in, we're gonna head over to the last segment. I'm gonna go ahead and get this done. Um, we're doing the brown box special. Y'all know that's literally where either someone they got fired, they got laid off, or they quit for whatever the reason is, and not just to laugh at their pain, but we also we can learn from these stories, right? We can learn things. Sometimes there's some good nuggets that come out of these stories. So, anyways, I'm not gonna delay it. The brown box special for today comes from Cura, and it says that listen, they didn't get fired, they got laid off. And here's what it says: after I had almost 15 years in, and I wasn't feeling the same vibes anymore. How many people feel like that? I was exhausted and burnt out by the constant changes. I was basically my own department, so they was doing a whole lot. I came in at 5 a.m. and left around 5 p.m. Came in on Saturdays or Sundays just to get filing done. I was so tired, I wanted to cry. Man, I know we've been there before. So tired, I wanted to cry, which I did some days. I would just go to an empty room and sit there, staring at the wall for 30 minutes, trying to get enough mental strength to go back out there. But finally, I had enough. My aunt told me to quit, offered to let me move in with her while I searched for a new job. Shout out to aunties. And I gladly took her up on that offer. I typed up my letter of resignation. When I was called into the big boss's office, there was a woman in the office with him that was introduced as an HR rep. Dun 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 dun. So I was informed that the senior management had made a difficult decision that they were doing away with all the staff at my level. In return, they were offering me 6 months severance, and if I stayed for the next 6 weeks, I'll receive a bonus of $2,500. I started laughing hysterically, almost crying as I hastily signed that paperwork. Give me that pen. After the woman left, he asked me why I started laughing, and I told him I was planning on resigning today. He started laughing, and he had no choice in the decision. So he was willing for me to stick it to him. I stuck it out there. In the end, went on unemployment and had a new job, more money, better benefits within 6 weeks after my last day. I essentially was collecting two paychecks for the next several months. It was good. And yeah, man,
Good
sometimes that's how it
times.
is. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes that's how it is. We've heard stories like that one before where, they were about to quit and they were about to get fired. Uh, so the writing was on the wall, but in their favor for sure. So that's pretty cool right there.
Yeah, man. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for covering while I figured out that technical difficulty.
Oh yeah,
I just wanted to just say thank you again, y'all, for rocking with us. That story was one that gives people hope in this time. We're
yeah.
probably going to talk about the age of the pip at another time. But just want to let you know about the Live Podcast Network. As you know, we're here on there. So if you want to listen to us and other creators, go ahead and go to livepodcastnetwork.com. You can subscribe there for more. As you can see, our beautiful faces right there. And so go ahead to the livepodcastnetwork.com for more and also learn from other creators in the space as well. So thank you so much for rocking with us, y'all. We definitely appreciate you. And you have been tuning in to Talk That Tech, the
Number one tech morning show in the world. We'll see y'all next week, baby.
peace and elbow grease. Yes, sir.